I'm Edward and welcome to My Kitchen Diaries. In this episode we're going to create one of my springtime favourites. It's, I guess you could call it a salad. It's grilled, or fried in this case, halloumi with cucumber ribbons and avocado with a spring onion and parsley vinaigrette dressing. The flavours are fantastic for this time of year. They're very fresh, they're very sharp. The kind of salty and unusual texture of the halloumi combined with the really great soft and an almost sweet cucumber at this time of year, with the sharpness of lime juice and the sharp bursts of energy provided by the spring onions. Okay, so first of all we need to prepare the cucumber. I like to use one of these as a normal vegetable peeler. Some people like I don't know what you'd call them, but the peelers where you use them sideways on. I've tried that for this. It doesn't quite work as well as using a peeler like this, which allows you almost to shave ribbons off. It works pretty well doing that. So simply, almost like you're shaving it, just drag down like so. To remove ribbons. Whoops, lost him. Get back on the board there. So don't push too hard, just drag that over. And I'm putting these directly into the bowl I'm actually going to serve this from. Think of this as using the cucumber instead of using the leaves you'd put in a normal salad. Now, to me, that feels like an appropriate amount for a small starter. Let's move that into view there. That feels about right. It's light, it's fluffy, you've got plenty of airspace in there for the dressing to make its way around, so I think we're done on the cucumber. And now onto the avocado. So some people would want to go for a whole avocado in the salad here. I'm actually just going to go for half. I like avocado, I just don't love it that much. So taking a sharp knife, standard avocado preparation, just push through the flesh, twist it around. And the two halves, since it's perfectly ripe, will just fall away. Really is perfectly ripe. It's just like, it's almost like butter actually. It's like warm butter that's been out in the sun for a while. So when the avocado and cucumber are in the serving bowl, it's now time to start focusing on the dressing. The dressing starts with cutting some pair of spring onions. You want to prepare these as you would any other spring onions. And the general traditional way that is of slicing the spring onions into fine circles. Lose the top green bits, they're a little too flabby for our purposes. The rest of the salad is quite textured, and the kind of the fibrous nature of these is a bit much. So lose the a good chunk of the lower white part of the spring onions. They're really not that appropriate for this. You know, they're quite mellow flavours we're going for. So now, using a very sharp knife, I like the taste of spring onion. I like the kind of, the surprising heat and almost mustardy punch that it sometimes provides. So I'm prepared to use quite a lot. I like the larger pieces which can burst out. So I'm now going to transfer those straight into a measuring jug. Doesn't have to be a measuring jug. I just tend to be quite messy for the next bit, and like a vessel with good deep sides to it. So grab yourself a good quantity of flat leaf parsley. I love this parsley. This isn't the cheapest parsley, and you get these lovely big flat leaves like that. In fact, you know what? I'm going to save that piece there. That one's going to be used later for garnish, so just put him to one side. Now, when cutting parsley, the word used to describe, I believe, the target state for parsley when it's chopped is dust. So you see that it's very fine little ribbons. So I'm going to add that to the dressing. Very dry dressing that it is right now, so let's start adding some moisture. Lime. I cut the pointy end off the lime. One end was always slightly pointier. I cut through that. Give myself a bit of an advantage, that's a bit too narrow. Let's just take a bit more. Like that. So now using the juicer, I'm just going to push very, very hard, using my hand to support the back of the juicer. And just grind that in. Really pulverizing the flesh. Driving the juice out. Kind of twist it around. There we go. And now with a fork, and this is why you'll see I've used a measuring jug, just beat that around like this. So the oil and the lime juice there are starting to combine. Now I start to combine these ingredients. So I'm now going to add, just get the juices going first, and then the quantity of the remainder. Now we're ready to start on the halloumi. Halloumi tends to come in a large block, not unlike this. Tends to be pretty misshapen, and for this, because we're going to be frying it, you want a pretty regular shape actually, otherwise you're going to start seeing it fall apart in the pan. So I'm going to try and mirror the form I've got here. You want to do about a 1 centimeter depth for each slice, so that would be one slice there, approximately 1 centimeter. Same again. I work to 2 pieces per person, like this. So now it's time to transfer these two to the frying pan. Okay, so the base of our salad is now prepared. We've got the flavors lined up here, ready to receive that kind of salty, more complicated texture of halloumi. So we've got the twists of cucumber, we've added to that cubes of avocado, we've got our dressing, spring onions, parsley, olive oil, and lime juice, all mélanged together, ready. Now we need to fry, quite aggressively, the halloumi to give it that beautiful golden brown crust on the surface. Halloumi can of course be grilled if you're feeling more health inclined, though I quite like the speed and the added flavour that you get, I think, from frying the halloumi. So I'm using a reasonably small pan. I'm using a reasonably small quantity of halloumi, so that would make perfect sense. I've heated 1 tablespoon of olive oil in the base of the pan, and it's gotten to the point now where it's just chasing itself around the pan, nice and fast. So just very quickly, just drop this in, you'll feel it sizzle, stand well back. Turning the heat down now that we're at cooking temperature. This makes quite a mess, I'm afraid to say. So after approximately 1 minute of frying, it's probably time to flip them over. You know it's time to flip them over when they're hard to pick up. No, you know it's time to flip them over when you get to see that slightly golden crust. It tends to be quite patchy for where the cheese is in contact with the pan. But once you get to that point, golden crust, then it's time just to flip. The edges, they start to go slightly soft too. Do not burn the cheese. Burnt halloumi, not a good taste. You want it just slightly soft around the sides and the middle, slight crispiness on the outside. So simply pick up a piece of halloumi, golden brown, both sides, and place on the surface of the salad. Like so. Time to now garnish. Just, you remember our friend, the sprig? Let's just pop him on the top there. I quite like a twist of black pepper. And there, ready to eat. Thank you for joining me, Edward, on My Kitchen Diaries. I hope you enjoy trying out these recipes as much as I enjoy making them.